Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. I'm Wayne Highlander with Bona Adhesives.
I'm Rob Johnson with the Bona Training 2026.
How we doing, Rob?
Pretty good. How you doing, bud?
I can't complain.
Who would listen?
Uh, yep, exactly right. Maybe I could use this whole thing as my therapist and have it make everybody listen to it, but I'm not going to do that. You know what?
Hey,
Uh, what?
I want to start the show with a little sad news, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go right ahead.
So I'm always talking about my partner Pete, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Known him since school. Um, his dad passed away,
No,
93 years old.
no
His
kidding.
dad passed away. Yep, and it's so sad. Sometimes you don't realize what people have done in their life until they're gone.
Yeah,
This guy was a volunteer fireman for 77 years.
no kidding.
He was a he was the fire commissioner for that firehouse for 55 years.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. I mean, during the
What?
service, all the fire department came to, because around here it's all volunteer fire departments.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And
so he did this as a non-paying job.
non-paying,
Wow.
non-paying job.
Hmm.
77 years. He was a farmer and just one of the founding guys of that volunteer fire department.
That's amazing.
Can you imagine sitting around going, you know what? We kind of need a fire department around here,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And putting it together. Like, we're not talking a softball team.
Right.
We're talking fire trucks, buildings, putting out fires, saving people's lives for free. Volunteer.
You know, think about his life and how many people he saw come and go in that volunteer fire department, and he was a steady force all them years.
77 years. I'll tell you
Wow.
what, I was sitting there and I've known him since I was in high school. Okay.
Mhm.
And just one of the scariest guys you ever wanted to meet in your life. The neighborhood kids would see him coming, they'd start screaming, Mr. Sherman's coming. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, and if you met him, you would think, my God, this is Mickey Rooney's brother, right? He could have
No
definitely
kidding.
been in. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, you want to talk about like just pure apple pie American type family guy. This was your guy. Okay. He, like I said, he was a farmer,
Yeah.
started the volunteer fire department back when, I don't know how old, I don't know, it's 16 or 17 years old when, founding member of that fire department. Never saw a guy work harder in his life. I mean, we all knew hardworking guys,
Yeah.
okay? And, Pete worked with us. Pete worked in my family business and everything just when he was still in high school. So I always thought, he got his work ethic from the Johnsons, right? He didn't.
Right.
He got his work ethic from his dad.
No kidding.
Yeah, dad was the
Wow.
plumber. He was the septic guy, the plumber. He was cutting the lawn in the local cemetery into his 80s
Wow.
as just another one of his jobs. Okay. Just true blue collar, take his family on a couple of vacations a year, had a nice house, worked hard all his life. But the thing that blew me, I mean, we all knew how hard he worked and um, what a great family man he was. But then all of this community service stuff with the fire
Yeah.
department and the volunteer. I mean, 55 years as a commissioner, 77 years in the fire department is like, that is just incredible. I mean, so yeah, I just wanted to give out a shout to Herb Sherman. He was 93 years old, Pete's dad, and like I said, he was God when he was born. God took away the guy's filters. I will say that
Yeah.
he was just a one of a kind guy.
Mm.
But I remember one night when I was in high school, the plumbing blew up in our house. I mean, we had no idea what to do. 9 o'clock at night, I call up Pete and I'm like, "Hey, uh, we got a real shit show going on over here." His father came right over,
No kidding.
no questions asked, came right over, fixed everything. Right? I mean, he was just that kind of guy.
There are a lot of unsung heroes in this world. You talk about taking care of the cemetery. Well, there's a guy that church behind our house that comes and takes care of all that, and it's they do it out of the kindness of their heart. They're not asking for anything. They're not looking for anything. They're just decent human beings. I wonder towards the end of his career, when he got up to be like 93, how many one alarm fires turned into four alarm fires waiting on 93-year-old guy to come and put it out.
Well, that's when you're the commissioner, you don't have to go
Okay.
to the fires. You're
Okay.
you're choosing the people
Okay.
that do go to the fire.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I can see
it
instead
wa-
of
it was
like,
pretty cool. I'll tell you what, the fire department, they had two firemen in full dress on each side of the casket the whole time. And during the funeral procession, they drove around his neighborhood and past his house and his farm, uh, you know, and then the hearse, like they stop in front of the fire department, and the hearse rolled in to the parking lot, and then they set off the big fire alarm because around here,
mm,
when there's a fire,
yeah.
you hear the alarm. I mean, the whole town can hear the fire alarm going off, and that, if you didn't hear it on the radio, okay, hey, if you're a volunteer fire department, you're a volunteer fireman, you heard the alarm, you got to get going.
Wow.
And it was pretty cool. They rolled this hearse, so the hearse in front of the fire department, empty parking lot, and they lit the alarm off. Pauline had tears in her eyes. I mean, it
Oh,
was
what, well, what an
it
honor,
was
man.
pretty touching. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's very cool. Let me ask you this. In Albany, do they like in Tennessee here in rural East Tennessee, when there's a funeral and the hearse is going down the road and whatever, even the cars going the other direction, stop and pull off the side of the road, and
No,
and people will get out of their car and stand, and it is one of the most moving things I've ever seen.
that's
That
nice.
out of
That
respect, they'll get out of the car and they'll stop and get out and they'll stand out of the car. And some of
yeah.
the guys have their hands on their hearts and everything, and that is just
You know, um, that's funny you said that because I was saying that to Pauline. I go, when my Pup McLaughlin, my grandfather McLaughlin, when he passed away, the funeral procession was, driving around his town, and there was this little old Irish guy in Everett. We were in Everett, Massachusetts,
mhm.
and there was this little old Irish guy, and he took his hat off and he bowed his head as the procession went by, and I thought, I hope someday I can do something as cool as that.
Yeah,
If I'm out
yeah,
there and I see a procession, can I make a public service announcement here?
yeah,
When you see a funeral procession, just pull over,
yeah.
okay? Don't try to cut in front. Don't try to zip in front of us and pull into the supermarket or something like that. Show some freaking respect, okay? Mike,
Okay,
I just wanted to. It didn't happen in this one, but it happened in another one we were in.
this is a real bad time to tell this story.
Oh, tell me you didn't do this.
Oh, the worst. All right, all right. I'm gonna tell this story real quick. So, I was living in California, and I've been married about 10 years. And I owned my business down now. I was back there, it was just pagers, and I'm going 90 miles an hour. Man, you know how it is. You're pumping. All kinds. We were swamped. There's all kinds of things. Yeah, always in a hurry. So I went on a 2-week vacation. I took Judy back to Kentucky to visit my family in Kentucky, and we're there, and it's so slow. It's so peaceful and calm, and even people talk slower. And I thought, at first it was driving me out of my mind. Like I was like my mama would go, well. I think we'll go sit for a spell. And I'm like, oh my God, I was like trying to drag the words out of her mouth. It was just, but by the end of the 2 weeks, we were sitting on the front porch and swinging. I said, Judy, this is nice, man. This is, when we go back to California, this is, we got to slow down. Yeah, because this is, it's crazy the way we live, man. This is kind of, she goes, yeah, you're right. So we go back to California and, I've been gone for a long time, so it's the nightmare's back. I'm going 90 miles an hour, and I'm flying down the freeway. Actually, I was doing about 70. And it's a two-lane freeway, 24. If anybody at 13, anybody in Northern California knows it. And it's a two-lane road. And I come up on the left lane, the fast lane, as we call it. And in front of me, there's a car doing about 50, 55 miles an hour. I'm like, what's the matter with this guy? Get over in that lane. That's why we make those lanes. And he looks at his rearview mirror at me, and he's like, throws up his hands, and you gotta be out of your mind. So I get next to him. He looks at me, he gives me, and I gave him the salute. You know,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
okay. So I get in front of him real quick, and then I pull up on the next car real quick, and this idiot's only doing about 50 miles an hour. And I'm going, what in the hell's the matter with these people, man? That's why they make these lanes. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was livid. So I go around him and I pass him and I get in front of him. And then I look in the rearview mirror. They all got their lights on. They all got the orange funeral sticker on the side of their car. And I went, oh my God. I was absolutely mortified. I got off at the next exit and I sat there. And I was so ashamed of myself, man. I thought, oh my God, what am I? Now, thank God it was the last two cars in the procession. Those people don't matter. I mean, they're not like close family. So, oh man, it was awful.
Well, see, now there's a huge difference.
Okay.
One, you didn't know,
Yeah, thank you.
and two, you felt remorse. So
Yes.
you're a good person. I
Hmm.
can't believe I just said that.
So I tell myself,
It's the guys who are like, oh, I got to get my car washed. And they're
yeah, yeah,
zipping in and then yanking it. Just,
no,
you see the flashers on, the goofy little flags.
have some
Just
compassion.
take a
Yeah,
deep breath. Right.
yeah,
It's his final resting place.
yeah,
You know, you,
yeah,
gonna be you there someday.
yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah. No,
But
you're so right.
at least you showed remorse because I know I've done the same type of thing. Like, what
Oh,
the freak is going on with this guy? I'm
yeah,
the same way.
yeah,
Oh, oh, all right. Oh, geez, I'm sorry.
yeah.
You
No
know,
idea.
tip your cap. But
Yeah.
for the guys who are breaking through it, oh my gosh.
Well, there's been another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. All right, we gotta get on to a show here.
Don't be busting up the funeral procession, for God's
I,
sakes.
for heaven's sakes. All right. Hey, listen, we deal with entrepreneurs every day. You and I, we were entrepreneurs. And I thought, you think about how much work it is to become an entrepreneur and what all that goes into it. And we just wanted to give a shout out to these guys and gals that work so hard at what they do. And I think as an entrepreneur, you're doing like a lot of times the jobs of three people. I mean, a lot of guys are out there doing the work, swinging the hammers, sanding the floors, going back, doing the office work, doing the ordering, loading up the vans, cleaning the shop, all the things that go into it. And it is I mean, the courage to start your own business and set your own path is certainly it ain't the easiest thing in the world to do. There's a whole lot harder things you can do in life, and the sacrifices that are made to start a business and the competition. I mean, if you've been in business any length of time at all, man, warriors. I mean, really, very extraordinary people that can run a business and have a business and own a business and work at it for year after year and thrive and be successful. It's a hard, very difficult thing to do. Um, there have been times that, especially in California, when you go work for the government and you get every paid holiday off, you get every vacation off, and you probably it's very difficult to get fired. No, 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 no. I'm not dissing them at all, but it's no comparison. It is so sometimes even when I was doing floor, I think, man, this is it's a hard life doing this. To get up every day and do that. And a lot of times it's fueled by only thing that can fuel you to do this oftentimes is the passion for what you do. You know what I mean? And you want to say freedom, but a lot of times it ain't freedom. People think, oh, he owns his own business, he can set his own hours. That's probably the biggest fallacy, the biggest laugh there is to an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You know, you're probably working twice as many hours as most anybody else out there, right?
Twice. Oh, it, at least twice.
Yeah.
At least
Uh,
twice. It's 7 days a week.
yeah. You
I'll
know,
tell you what, the big thing with me and these guys, and like you said, they do everything. You know, like you said, they swing the hammer. They're doing the marketing. They're doing the sales. They just have everything. And I think it was in North Carolina. I heard one of the students say to a guy who had a bunch of guys. He goes, "How many guys do you have in your crew?" And he said, "6 guys." And the kid's like, "Oh, I really 6?" He goes, I thought you were bigger. He goes, I had the idea that you were bigger. And I looked at the kid because he was kind of young, you know,
yeah.
so I kind of
Hmm.
knew where he was coming from.
Hmm.
And I said, 6 guys is 7 families. And the kid looked at me, and the guy is like, yeah. He
Yeah.
goes, wow. He goes, I never really thought of it like that. He goes, but I go, yeah. I go, he's not worried about his own family. If
Hmm.
he's got 6 guys, he's also thinking about 6 guys and their families. And and then when I said that, that's when the guy really started talking about what his business is doing and what he needs to do to keep
Yeah.
7 families afloat. So not only are these guys taking on the entrepreneurial, or let me try that one again. That's another word I messed up.
That's the first thing that's hard about being an entrepreneur is pronouncing it and spelling
Is
it.
saying entrepreneurial. Oh, I think
Hmm.
I got it.
Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I got it. Right. And boy, but when I put it in perspective for him, even he started thinking, yeah, he goes, I didn't even think about that. Well, he said, but that's exactly it. I can't, hey, there's no work. So,
Yeah.
don't come in today. Well, he can't do that because that guy's, so that investment is also an investment that you're now taking care of however many people are working for you. You're taking care of their family too.
Yeah. I
There's a
mean,
lot. I mean, that's an unbelievable amount of pressure, I think.
and it weighs very heavily on the guy that's in charge to say, "Hey, we got no work this week." I mean, it's crushing. It's soul crushing when you know you care about your guys and their family. You know that they have needs and everything, and be able to they have to say, "Hey, we don't have anything this week," or a job fell through at the last minute and we couldn't put anything in there. Man, I mean, it's and it's not like a regular job. It's very personal. You know, like a corporation. Well, you know, there's 80 people there, and you know we know everybody's first name is whatever, and we see them once in the hall. But when you own a small business and you like you said, you have these guys you work side by side day to day. Yeah, it's very personal. And I mean, this whole economy in America runs on they're the unsung heroes of the our economy is entrepreneurs. Um, and just the amount that goes into it. I just think that I don't think they get enough credit for what they do and for the sacrifice and everything that goes into the to this profession.
Well, so many of them, I think, to their own guys, their own people that are working for them, they make it look easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're starting the job at 7:30 and you're done around 5:30 or 6, and you go home and you think, wow, that was a hell of a day.
Hmm.
I kicked it today.
Yeah. You know,
And but you're putting your feet up.
yeah.
You're putting your feet up, and a lot of times I don't think sometimes guys realize what the boss is really going through. When is his day end?
Yeah. And I'm very aware of this, because we've been on both sides of this. And you'll see a sales rep in nice Dockers and nice pants and dressed up real nice and everything, and he's talking to a guy who's in a pair of jeans and a shirt and whatever. But if you look at on balance of responsibilities, that guy's, like you said, if he's got six guys, he's a businessman and he's a lot going on in his life, man. We don't have to fit into their world. I mean, they don't have to fit into our world. We have to fit into their world. I mean, there is so much going on. I mean, you got to think for six people. Your mind's going on these jobs. Okay, he's going to need this on a job. He's going to need that. Blah blah blah. This guy's going to need this. He's going to this. But you have to be careful. All these little nuances. You're thinking for six people, and you got to be thinking many steps ahead of everybody. So your wheels are turning constantly. So when you come home at night and you're watching TV, I don't know about you, but I'm still going through my mind on all these jobs and all right, what are we going to need? I got taking constant notes to myself that I don't forget that I don't drop one of these balls. It's a tremendous amount of work, and you see guys that 20 years of doing this and 30 years of doing this, and it's a very difficult grind, and it's very rewarding too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's that part of it too that I think is super rewarding. But I think it's kind of nice to acknowledge that for flooring contractors because damn it, it's a lot. It's a lot for anybody.
I think one of the toughest, when I was running my own business, I think the toughest thing that we had was to go on vacation.
Yeah.
It was almost to the point where like, I don't want to put myself through that.
Well,
it's 3 weeks of mayhem before and 2 or 3 weeks after.
Yeah. I always say it's hard to leave and it's hard to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just don't think sometimes people realize everything that these guys have to go through just to take a little bit of time off.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, and you probably, I mean, I've been with my wife on vacation and friends and stuff, and I'll say, no, you guys go ahead. And while they're down at the pool and they're doing stuff, I'm answering phone calls and I'm lining things up on what is supposed to be my vacation. So it makes things run smooth when I get back. Then you've got the chasing the money and all the different things in it, and I don't think flooring contractors' friends realize how difficult a job it is. Unless you do it. And then we haven't even talked about if you're out there swinging a hammer at the same time with the physical part of it. And so I think a nice nod and a salute to these guys is just worth mentioning.
Oh, unless, I mean, Pauline knew because she was my wife.
Mm-hmm.
But we've said this many times on the show. Friends and family. I don't mean my wife, but friends and family, they have no idea how hard we work. None.
No,
Absolutely. They would, I remember one time, and I know I've told this story. Pete and I, we played on a men's hockey team together, men's league hockey, and we were on a job. We left the job, we went and played, and then everybody was like, "Hey, you going to the bar? There's a bar that sponsored us.
Mm-hmm.
You guys going out?" We're like, "No, we got to get back. We're in the middle of a stain job and blah 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 blah." And people looked at us like didn't even know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty stupid, right? But there was no doubt that we had to go back and finish the. You know what I mean? There was no question. There was absolutely no question we were going to miss the game. That was that was a break.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And and friends and family who have known it, they have no idea how hard people work that are in this business. No idea.
And a lot of times they'll say things like, "Oh man, that guy just loves to work." Or
Yeah.
he lives to work. Like I don't like days off too. Like I don't like vacations too. But it's a responsibility. Then you also have your responsibility to your clients. You're in their homes. It's a tremendous responsibility. If one thing goes wrong in that home, You know what I mean? I mean, it's the amount of
Yeah.
liability there is tremendous. So you have all those anxieties and those stresses. And then again, your employees making sure they're happy and what have you. And then they got the vans and the equipment and everything. So it's a tremendous amount. Like I said, it's very gratifying. And I wouldn't have changed anything about the career, but it's just it's a lot. It's a lot.
When we were still doing bowling alleys, one of the funniest things a guy would say, we'd be literally unloading the equipment in his place. Now, when he sees our trucks pull up, he's shut down.
Hmm.
Okay. There's no bowling. So if there's no bowling, that cash register isn't singing. There's no
Yep.
noise, right? And we would literally be unloading the truck. And I remember, I mean, 30 or 40 times a guy would walk up to me and go, so when do you think you're going to be done? When are you going to be done? I haven't put a piece of paper on a machine yet. And they're wondering, so when are you going to be done?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it was it's crazy what these guys go through. Absolutely crazy.
I'll tell you a story, and yes, it's a small little humble brag, but allow me that. But but I was a sales rep in the Bay Area, and this guy, it was I guess they were condos, it was super high end on San Francisco, looking out at the ocean. Like it's big floor to ceiling windows looking out at the ocean. It was on the top floor. It's spectacular. I got a picture of the job. Herringbone floor, dark stain. And the first two coats did not go good. And the guys need to move in, and the contractor's stressed out of his mind because we've all been there, you know what I mean? But the contractor came in with the client because I was going to help him coat the floor for him. I said, "All right, I'll help you coat the floor," not realizing this is a hornet's nest already. Now, this is bad news. And then on top of that, the contractor with his client told him, "Listen, we're going to get our attorney involved if this isn't done today, and he can't move in. So just let you know." And then he tells me, he goes, "If you nail this, I'll buy you a lobster sandwich downstairs, like the best one you've ever had." I'm like, cool, whatever. But and we did. I mean, truly knocked it out of the park. It was stunning. But the amount of pressure of if you don't get this done, I mean, and you're being judged with such a critical eye. You know what I mean? With
Yeah.
all the lights, everything is staring at, everything is there. Um, and if you don't nail it, if you don't knock it out of the park, he's telling you, I'm getting my attorney involved. I mean, what other,
Just
you work for
just
any other business.
just the extra amount of pressure.
Yeah, not to mention he didn't come through with the sandwich, by the way. I mean, they came through and raved about the floor. And not that I cared, but come on, man, don't be that guy. You
Boy,
said
how many people have screwed you on the promise of food
two
and
of
never
them,
come through?
two of them.
So
Without
now
the
the
pecan
lobster
pie,
sandwich
the
and
pecan.
the pecan pie on Thanksgiving.
It was, yeah, but that's two biggies. You don't forget about those.
Why do people screw you on the food?
It's terrible. I don't know, but
Hopefully you get paid. At least you were getting paid, but
no. Oh,
still, the
Thanksgiving I was a
promise of that
contractor.
lobster sandwich and a pecan pie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the lobster sandwich I was a rep at the time, but the pecan pie I was a contractor. Yeah, she promised me. But anyhow, but that I mean, what other job has that much stress associated with it? You think it's just floors? And sometimes I would tell myself it's just floors, but it
Right.
isn't really just floors. When you're an entrepreneur and you lose your job or go bankrupt or whatever, it's like 90 times worse than you working for somebody else. You know what I mean? Because it's your life. And you've put so much into this and everything. It's so much is invested in this, and so much of it's your life. So yeah. So anyhow, it's not gonna be a long podcast. We just wanted to just really give a huge shout out and a nod. And I hope you take the time to congratulate or just give yourself a pat on the back once in a while and forgive yourself for the things that didn't come through for you or whatever, the things that went south a little bit from time to time. Cause you know, it's like you're in this job, you're like a gunslinger. Every job you go to, it's a new client, it's a new set of challenges. It's human things happen, mistakes happen, whatever. things sometimes don't go your way, but I hope people give themselves a lot of leeway and don't be so hard on themselves when things don't go the right way. Because man, there's a million things that you do in this job, and then don't forget that about yourself, and don't be so hard on yourself. I was very hard on myself, so and I think we all are. But so yeah, that's what our wishes for you as you start this new year in 2026.
That's our salute to entrepreneurs in the wood floor business.
Mm-hmm. And thanks for listening. There's been a lot of episodes, and sure, we screwed up a few of them along the way. But it is what it is. So anyhow, thanks for listening. We appreciate it. And this has been another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. Please stay tuned for another episode.